Time for the Clennell crystal ball. And Andrew, some movement on the Federal Corruption Commission this week.
Yeah, so as I said earlier, we'll see the introduction of the federal ICAC legislation on Wednesday, with the Prime Minister Anthony Albanese to fly back from Japan so that he's there for question time and for the legislation. My prediction is the Independents and Greens will arc up a bit over this legislation and want changes here to put a brighter spotlight on political corruption. That will be the most interesting discussion of this unusual parliamentary week, which occurs during school holidays.
Indeed. Some more fallout from that Optus hack as well?
I expect more from the government this week on the hack of 9 million Optus customers, with perhaps an announcement as early as Monday in terms of actions on it. The shadow cybersecurity spokesman James Patterson on Friday had a crack at the Home Affairs Minister Claire O'Neill after she tweeted about the grand final weekend in Melbourne. Patterson said, "I'm excited about the grand final too, but I suspect the almost 10 million Optus customers are more interested in hearing from the cybersecurity minister about what steps the government is taking to protect their personal information just stolen in a major cyber attack." Well, I think we will be hearing something, Kieran.
The Prime Minister to convene the National Cabinet later in the week.
It's on again this Friday, National Cabinet, but I'm not going to tip that the 5-day isolation period will be coming off for COVID people, or people infected by COVID, should I say, just yet. The PM has spoken of a pathway away from isolation periods, but the Premiers and Chief Ministers might not arrive at that this Friday. We'll see.
And a boost for New South Wales Labor and the opposition leader Chris Minns.
That's right. So polls at the weekend show Chris Minns is in the box seat to become Labor Premier of New South Wales in March. A situation which, as long as Dan Andrews wins as is expected, would mean coast-to-coast Labor governments on the mainland of Australia. But there is a hiccup here for the Labor leader, and that's around his sacking of frontbencher Tanya Mihaluk from Shadow Cabinet and her threats under parliamentary privilege to throw dirt at the Bankstown Mayor and Upper House pre-selection candidate Kale Asfor. Mihaluk is threatening to say more under parliamentary privilege. There is a parliamentary sitting week in mid-October, just before the Labor State Conference, where Asfor is set to be endorsed. My prediction is this saga is far from over, Kieran.